What fool thing is Johnny doing now? Well, he's writing yet another Lee Hacklin mystery, and this one is called The Virtuous, the Vile, and the Valorous. Here we go, Chapter 1. New York City, 1977. A parsec is not a measurement of time, it's a measurement of distance. Who wrote this crap? Gomer Pyle? I was sitting in the back row of the Cinema Royale in Queens on a Friday night in May. The venue was at capacity. It was the opening night of a little movie called Star Wars. No, it wasn't called Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope back in the day. It was just plain old Star Wars, and that was gloriously good enough. My arm was around my date, a pert and perky accountant named Leah Fisher. I can see your eyes rolling, dear reader, but we live in a funny world. Lincoln had a secretary named Kennedy, and vice versa. Her hand was on my knee. It was much more pleasurable than a banjo, and she squeezed. A little to my left, I whispered. Not safe for work. If you have to ask for it, then you haven't earned it, was her quiet retort. Touché. Science nerd in front of us turned his pumpkin head in our direction. Shut your pie holes. I'm trying to enjoy this slice of celluloid sludge. I bristled, and Leah squeezed my knee a little harder. Let it go. Science nerd shoveled one handful of popcorn into his fat mouth after another before he resumed his critical analysis of what was essentially a sci-fi fairy tale. Sound doesn't travel in space, and would someone please explain to me how a lightsaber works? Light doesn't have mass, and I hate to break this to you folks, but you can't walk in a spaceship. A teenage usher clomped down the aisle and knelt next to him. With all the confidence of Charlie Brown at bat, he said, "I'm sorry, sir, but we're getting complaints." "About what?" "You're talking." I thought this was America. "I'm afraid you'll have to leave the theater. We'll refund your money." "Refund this pockmark, Pete." He stood, picked up his extra-large soft drink cup, removed the lid and straw, and poured what was left over the usher's head. The movie stopped and the lights came on. The usher wiped his face with his shirt and said, "Loser." Science nerd gave him a hard shove. I caught him and righted him before he hit the floor. "Thanks. Don't mention it." "Time to go, Carl Sagan." "Or what?" 10 minutes later, I was outside and giving my statement to the Big Apple's finest. I never saw Leia again. Some people have a low threshold for violence, even if the act is committed in the name of righteousness. Science nerd was strapped to a gurney. Two paramedics were loading him into an ambulance. He was still breathing, intermittently. The older cop smirked at me and said, "I sure wouldn't want to be in your shoes right now, Hacklin. Not that I ever wanted to be in the first place. But that kid you just mangled, he's the son of a Supreme Court judge." Oops-a-daisy, I thought, but didn't say. "And how's your day going, dear reader?" Okay, it's a first draft. Thanks for watching. Happy Wednesday.